My mic stand just broke. What? Come on, man. So I watched Thor Love and Thunder last week, and I just enjoy a good time at the movies, and that's what it was. Natalie Portman, Tessa Thompson. Please step on me. Thor has had a big arc on me personally, and I think with a lot of people. I mean, I definitely was not a fan of the first two Thor movies. I thought he was a rather unmemorable character in the first Avengers movies. And then Taika comes in, says, we're going to change all of that. And then Thor Ragnarok becomes one of my favorite MCU movies of all time. And he probably has the best moment in Infinity War. I mean, that feels like, besides Thanos, that feels like his movie, really. This is so awkward just carrying the mic like this. Why is this so heavy? Thor Love and Thunder is a good time. It is a perfectly enjoyable, funny, entertaining movie. So thanks. It moves insanely fast. I mean, the runtime technically, at least as of now, is less than 2 hours. It's basically a 2-hour movie though, and it fucking moves quick. Honestly, this movie is a boneless Thor Ragnarok. And I know when I say boneless, people kind of take that as a negative, which, I understand. I probably use it in a negative way. But in this case, it's like, it's not that bad. That's a good thing. There's no shame in that. Like if someone says, hey, you're like a boneless Daniel Day-Lewis, I'm going to be like, oh, you mean I'm like a worse version of one of the best actors ever? Yeah, I'll take it. Thanks, bro. And that's what this movie is to me. Like, it's funny. It's very funny. It's not as funny as Thor Ragnarok. The action and the set pieces are pretty good. It's not as good as Thor Ragnarok. There's a good balance between comedy and drama, but it's not as good as Thor Ragnarok. You get the point. If I'm being honest, I think this movie is kind of mid, but I enjoy these characters like so much. And I know not a lot of people like Taika Waititi movies. I am not one of them. I certainly do. He's one of those people that genuinely on screen, I'm just like, they probably had like the best time filming. And that just means something to me, That's a positive. So because of that, it goes from mid to like slightly above average, The whole cast is great. Chris Hemsworth still looks like he's having a blast playing Thor. Natalie Portman back. Yeah, come on. Tessa Thompson as King Valkyrie of Fire. Korg is Korg. And Christian Bale as Gore the God Butcher was one of the main reasons I was so interested in this movie. I mean, it's Christian Bale. And it feels a little surreal to see him in an MCU movie, if I'm being honest. And he's great. He's good. He's good as Gore the God Butcher. I mean, this is Christian Bale, but this is like one of the best actors we have right now. So of course it's good. His screen presence alone is like unmatched in the movie. Like as soon as he's on screen, you're just like, holy shit, like your eyes are just glued on him. But I actually think Gore might be my biggest complaint about this movie, and it doesn't have to do with Christian Bale, it's just a character. His motivation for turning kind of against the gods and becoming the God Butcher is so quick, it almost feels a little unearned and like almost surprising in a way. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but when that happened, I was like, oh, okay, so he's just, wow, he turned pretty quick. I mean, I guess that'll do it to him, I understand what happened, but I mean, damn, you want to put up a little bit more of a moral struggle, or it was good? And I feel like there was a missed opportunity to actually kind of dive deeper into his character. The movie, like I said, is barely 2 hours long, a little bit less than 2 hours, so you could have squeezed in a little bit more, because if you included more, not even of a backstory or origin, but just spending more time with him, I think it would have enhanced the character more, which is already being enhanced by Christian Bale. And when there's a good villain, it usually happens that there's a good superhero movie in there, Dude, what the hell? This is like actually like 12 pounds. What's going on? Now, visually, it actually looks pretty good. I mean, they use the same technology that the Mandalorian and the Batman use. I forget off the top of my head, but you guys know what I'm talking about. And honestly, you can tell which scenes they use that, in which scenes they use like blue screen or green screen. Like it's pretty apparent. But even outside of that, I mean, Taika Waititi has some pretty good visual shots, especially those like wide angle frames, so those were in Ragnarok and they were fire. And there's some in here which are also fire. Like speaking to that, in the trailer, there's like the black and white fight scene. It's actually pretty cool. I mean, it's like a pretty like ingenious idea for like a fight scene, I know I've kind of glanced over this movie pretty quick. I mean, I guess I'll kind of speak to the comedy and like the drama deal. Honestly, at times it could feel a little uneven. This is also in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler. I'm not exactly sure why they took the Korg narrating route. It's not frequently throughout the movie. It's not like a Tom Hanks and Elvis type of deal, but I'm not exactly sure what the point of that framing device was. If I'm being honest, it kind of made it a little corny, a little cheesy. Not really for me. I'm really interested to see the reception for this movie, because as I'm recording now, obviously the embargo hasn't lifted, so I don't know what everyone else really thinks outside of their reactions. For me, I'm going to compare this to something weird. I think Thor Ragnarok and Thor Love and Thunder is like Guardians 1 and 2. Now take that however you want. For me personally, I love the first Guardians. I thought it was like finally like really something fresh, and it was hilarious and like good action, good heart to it. And then Guardians 2, it felt like They're kind of doing a little bit of the same thing, but trying to up the silliness, which Thor Love and Thunder does. And because of that, I didn't love Guardians 2 as much, even though I still liked it as a movie. That's kind of how I feel with Thor Ragnarok and Love and Thunder. Love and Thunder really leans into the silliness and the comedy. So like some of it really works, and other times I'm like, bruh, can we just relax? As always, stay for the post-credit scenes. There are two of them, and I don't like to jump on the, oh my gosh, the post-credit scene was so awesome type of deal. But one of them, for me personally, it did get me really excited. I can't even lie. So overall, I mean, Thor Love and Thunder is a good, entertaining movie with a lot of laughs and like a good amount of action, but it does come with an uneven script at times and a pretty underdeveloped villain. However, like, it is like a 2-hour movie that just flies by, and I enjoy being with its characters. So sue me, Thor Love and Thunder, 3.5 stars. Natalie Portman, Tessa Thompson, I am free at your earliest convenience for whatever. I'll even pay for it. You guys are millionaires, but I guess I'll pay for, you know what? Maybe not. I take that back. I just noticed in my notes, I wrote Christina Bale.